Okay, so we're going to take the derivative of this. What rule do I need to use? The product rule. So we'll take the derivative of e to the x, which is e to the x, times, you keep the second function the same, plus. Now we're going to keep e to the x the same, but take the derivative of our second function, the derivative of sine, the derivative of cosine. And so distribute your e to the x and see if we have any like terms that we could combine. So are you good with that? And we have some terms that will cancel. And e to the x cosine x plus e to the x cosine x are like terms. So you can combine those. And so our our first derivative is 2e to the x cosine x. Does that match the answer key?
Yes.
Great. So you've asked me to do number 51. Find the second derivative. So for 51, we're looking for the second derivative. We could jump right in and use the product rule, or we could distribute and then take the derivative. And go ahead and do product rule because that was your first instinct, okay? So if we're doing product rule, our first derivative is just 2 times e to the negative 3x plus 3 plus 2x times e to the negative 3x times negative 3. Correct. Okay, so let's see if we can simplify this any at all. Would that give us negative 9e to the negative 3x minus 6x e to the negative 3x. Is that right? Okay. So now we do have some like terms. So I can simplify that and get negative 7 e to the negative 3x minus 6x e to the negative 3x. I don't have to use product rule on this first term now when I take it the second derivative, but I will have to use product rule over here because we really have like two functions. Yeah. Okay. So when we take the derivative now of negative 7 e to the negative 3x, it would be negative 7 e to the negative 3x times negative 3. Then if we take the derivative of negative 6x, it'd be negative 6 e to the negative 3x, then minus 6x e to the negative 3x times negative 3. Okay, so are you good with the way that simplifies? You could factor out a 3 and an e to the 3x if you needed to. So part of your quiz is multiple choice, right? So you have to look at your multiple choices to see how far you need to factor it. Or if you can leave it like this. So are y'all good with that one? 51? Okay, so if we look back at number 49, it says use implicit differentiation to find dy dx. Okay, so we're going to need to use what rule for this first term? Product rule. So the derivative of x would just be 1 e to the y plus x. Now when I take the derivative of e to the y, remember y is representing a function here, which is why we have to use implicit differentiation. So it will be e to the y and then times y prime. Now the derivative of negative 10x is just negative 10. The derivative of 3y is 3y prime. And the derivative of 0 is simply 0. So I'm going to move everything without a y prime to the other side. Factor out your y prime so that we can isolate it. And then divide by that factor. So you should have y prime would be 10 minus e to the y. Hey, Phaedra, could you come stop this recording, please? So this should be your implicit differentiation.